Ben Rothwell versus Junior Dos Santos. Guys, this is a good fight. This is a good fight. Is Junior Dos Santos going to be the favorite? I don't know, but I got Ben Rothwell winning this fight. I think Ben Rothwell is going to win. He's just been on a tear, and it's like he can do no wrong. Ben Rothwell can do no wrong. That's pretty much what's been going on. No, seriously, if you break this fight down, guys, Ben Rothwell, this guy has 44 mixed martial arts fights. He started fighting when he was like 17 years old. Maybe he was younger than that, I don't know. 18, I don't know. But like right at that age, just right when it was legal for him to fight, he was fighting. He had times where he fought 8, 9, 10, 11 times in a year, in a single year. He's only been TKO'd 4 times out of his, he had 9 losses, 3 decisions. He's only been TKO'd 4 times. Junior Dos Santos is not going to submit Ben Rothwell. He has to TKO him. Can he TKO him? Yeah, he can. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot has changed in the heavyweight division. I'm not going to go on a big thing because I've talked on this before. The heavyweight division has drastically changed since they started all the stringent drug testing. Guys that could perform no longer can perform. There's guys that are like 38, 39 years old, then they're in the UFC. If they weren't taking steroids the whole time for the last 5 years, they wouldn't even be in the UFC. You see what I'm getting at? Like the Josh Barnett. Ben Rothwell versus Josh Barnett. I was not surprised at all that Ben Rothwell won that fight. Okay? Because Josh Barnett was on steroids his whole career. He's been busted 3 times. So it's safe to say all those wins that he's racked up, I bet he's on steroids for most of them. Literally, he's been busted throughout his whole career for steroids. Now, he's 38 years old, and people look at his record, and everybody's impressed. But, if he's not taking steroids, you got a 38-year-old Josh Barnett coming off of steroids, which is worse than if you've never even taken them, right? Fighting Ben Rothwell. Ben Rothwell is only 34 years old. So like I said, 44 fights. So lots of experience, and he's still, he's 34, and for the most part, I believe Ben Rothwell when he says, he's like, I had all these wins and everything, and I did all this and beat all these guys, long win streaks without taking drugs. He did mess around, I think, with some TRT, and he talked on that. And I could tell he was telling the truth when he's like, you know what, now's my time because I haven't been taking drugs. I know what I can do without drugs. This is what Ben Rothwell said this, and I could tell just the way he was talking. He was like really excited. I could tell that he's telling the truth. So I think he's going to beat these guys. Now Fabricio Werdum, I've never seen any really maybe Verdum's been clean this whole time too, and he's kind of reaping the benefits of all that, because a lot of these other guys, they're old now and they can't fight the same. If they never were taking steroids, they would have been out of the UFC, long ago. So guys, I got Ben Rothwell win this fight. I really do. Is he going to be the favorite? I don't know, but Ben Rothwell is a beast. He's a big guy. He can take a punch, and he can dish out a punch. Man, this guy's got his wins. He's got like 20 TKOs, and he's got like 12 submissions. I'm talking Ben Rothwell. So he can do it all, and he's just been on a tear. And I'm really excited to see this fight. It's a tough fight. Junior Dos Santos is no joke, no slouch. But he didn't really look that good against Overeem, and when he fought Stipe, that was one of those fights, like a real close one. So he hasn't exactly been steamrolling guys, but he's been fighting tough guys. He has been fighting tough guys, but so is Ben Rothwell. But like I said, I think that the heavyweight division, In fact, I'm kind of surprised that like younger guys like aren't coming in. Like, I mean, now's the time, man. And even Fedor, I was like, man, if there was a time to come to the UFC, it would have been like 6 months ago. Because the UFC heavyweight division, I mean, these guys are just not looking, I mean, they're just not looking the same, a lot of them. Some of the guys are like, I mean, if things had stayed the way they were, there's no way Ben Rothwell would have been moving up the ladder and basically, you know, if he may be the heavyweight champion. I mean, that if you said that 2 years ago, you would have thought it, or 3 years ago. And, you know, so, and same thing with Arlovsky. Arlovsky came back to the UFC and just was kind of on a tear, so you never would have thought it. And if the drug testing had stayed the same as it was, which basically guys weren't being tested, you'd probably still have Cain Velasquez running through everybody. Because, I mean, he looked terrible off with these drug testing rules, and then they're injured, and they all got nagging injuries. That's another sign, you know, that they're maybe used to training a certain way, and now they need more recovery because they're not on steroids. They don't have the steroids. They're not, you know, to help them out, and they don't know how to train with just their natural body. Not to mention their hormones are all screwed up, and that they're old. These guys are old, man. So, you know, I mean, Ben Rothwell is 4 years younger than me. I'm 38. So, and if he's 35, he just turned 35. But, I mean, he's going for it, and he sounds excited. And let me tell you what about Ben Rothwell, man. This guy, too, he's got the eye of the tiger. I mean, that sounds stupid, but what I mean by that is he's coming hardcore. This is an underground, hardcore sport. It always has been. That's why I became a fan of mixed martial arts. Even though it's on the UFC and it's more mainstream now, this is still the same hardcore underground sport. I hear guys talking about, well, we're going to be buying a house and my wife's having a baby at this time. It's like, that ain't hardcore. You are going to get, that is, I hate to swear in my videos, but I mean, that is like, I was going to say something whipped, blank, whipped. You talking about women, yeah, I don't know, my wife's having a baby, and, you know, your mind is not where it needs to be. You got to be the bad man, the underground, just your mind on it all the time, thinking about training all the time. You know, you got your diet spot on, and you're just coming with it, you're bringing it. And Ben Rothwell, he's got that killer mentality right now, and man, I think he's going to beat Junior Dos Santos, and I'll see you guys later.